creativity. It's a known fact that grass increases creativity from 8 to 11 times. In fact, everyone finds that they're more creative stoned. That's straight. So remember,
A-R-I-J-U? N-E-U-A-N-A. Marijuana. Marijuana.
Thursday, March 27, and we are higher than heaven as we begin this edition of the Maurologue. The 2025 World Happiness Report just dropped, and here's the hot take. Trusting people is 7 times more powerful for your happiness than doubling your paycheck. Let me say that again. Trusting people is 7 times more powerful for your happiness than doubling your paycheck. That's right, believing someone would return your lost wallet is a bigger mood booster than a raise. Maybe kindness really is the new currency. No wonder Finland, the land of sauna, serenity, and social trust, is still sitting atop the global joyometer for the 8th year straight. Now, if Finland's the king of calm, then Lithuania just became the crown jewel of wellness. You might not expect it, but it just snagged Best Health and Wellness Destination at the 2025 ITB Health Tourism Awards, beating out Thai massages, Turkish hammams, and even Finland's own famed saunas. From the pine-scented springs of Druskinikai to the mineral-rich waters of Birštonas, Lithuania's got ancient healing in its roots, and now it's got a modern Michelin glow-up, too. Although my health and wellness may not be great if Lithuanians heard me try to pronounce the names of the Lithuanian wellness destinations. Speaking of healthcare, Paris just voted oui to strolling over steering in a move straight out of a flaneur fantasy. 500 streets will soon be car-free. Can we do the same thing in Los Angeles? It will make way for walkers, bikers, and green space galore, with traffic already cut in half since the early aughts and bike use soaring 71% post-lockdown. The city of light is ditching the gas and going full jardin chic. Say au revoir to 10,000 parking spots and bonjour to baguette-in-hand wanderings. Paris is literally paving the way for a slower, greener, more romantic kind of rush hour. Well, if your idea of romance is sharing a Dodger dog with your significant other, great news. Baseball is back. The 2025 MLB season, well, it launched in Japan last week with the Dodgers sweeping the Cubs, but it officially launches today with 28 of the 30 teams taking the field. The Yankees, who were runners-up in the World Series to the Dodgers last year, host the Brewers at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, and the evening slate brings us Red Sox versus Rangers and the Dodgers, the defending World Series champions, versus the Tigers. The big question: can the Doyers repeat as champs and smash the all-time single-season win record? Shortstop Miguel Rojas says they're gunning for 120. And the Yanks, well, they're icing their bruised egos still from last year's World Series. Also worth watching, both the Rays and the newly homeless formerly Oakland A's are floating through a stadium-free season. Who needs turf when you've got drama? Well, from baseball to basketball, plenty of drama as the Sweet 16 tips off today in the NCAA men's tournament. Flashback to this day in 1939, Oregon beat Ohio State, the Ohio State, 46-43 in the very first NCAA men's basketball tournament. Only 8 teams were invited back then, but now it's a 68-team free-for-all of buzzer beaters, bracket busters, and beer-fueled wagers. It's second only to the Super Bowl in betting fever and far more acceptable to scream at your TV on a Thursday afternoon. From bracketology to techology, Italian researchers may have just stitched the future of recovery into a humble t-shirt. Designed for post-cancer surgery patients, this sensor-packed wearable tracks vitals like ECG, glucose, and even electrolytes, and it's already showing promise. Patients wearing it were discharged up to 36 hours earlier, with only 6% needing to return to the hospital compared to 26% in the traditional group. It's like a Fitbit with a PhD and a warm hug. Hey, inquiring minds want to know, ever feel like your inner critic has set up a 24/7 talk show in your head? Amy L. Bernstein's Wrangling the Doubt Monster is here to help you change the channel. This insightful guide doesn't just tell you to silence self-doubt, it teaches you to dance with it, transforming those nagging uncertainties into fuel for your creative fire. With engaging anecdotes and practical strategies, Bernstein shows that doubt isn't the enemy, it's part of the process. So, if you're ready to stop wrestling and start waltzing with your doubts, this book might just be your new best friend. Meanwhile, in entertainment news, Lizzo is trading her flute for a Gibson guitar in the upcoming Amazon biopic Rosetta. She is set to portray gospel rock trailblazer Sister Rosetta Tharpe, whose influence on rock and roll predates Elvis and outshines expectations. It's a role that blends joy, soul, and revolutionary spirit, which is basically Lizzo's brand anyway. And speaking of icons, today we celebrate a birthday trifecta that could headline any award show. Quentin Tarantino is 62, still slicing up genres like a cinematic samurai. As he put it, I didn't go to film school, I went to films. Mariah Carey is 56, a few months older than yours truly, still ruling Christmas and whistle notes alike. And Fergie, formerly with the Black Eyed Peas, she is now a half-century old, forever glamorous, forever spelling out her own theme song, Glamorous. Yeah. Now let's rewind even further to 1839 when the word okay entered the chat. Back then, Boston jokesters were into creative misspelling, and Ol correct, Ollkorrect, became okay. President Martin Van Buren, nicknamed Old Kinderhook, helped spread it, proof that even your autocorrect has historical roots. And by the way, even though this is a podcast of positivity, is there anything more annoying than autocorrect? From OK to LOL? My buddy just went on a blind date and was told she's expecting a baby. So he showed up wearing a diaper. Today's motivation comes from model-turned-actress Brooke Shields, who said, "Don't waste a minute not being happy. If one window closes, run to the next window or break down a door. And if anyone knows about doing it all while smashing taboos and ceilings, it's Ms. Shields." All right, thank you for riding along with the Maurologue. Be kind, be bold, hold that door open, and remember, even a t-shirt can save a life. I'm Mauro Ranallo reminding you to keep fighting the good fight.